morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to look at the best Pokémon TCG Christmas presents. You see, we are but a few days away from Christmas at this stage. It's not going to be long. And if you're shopping for Christmas, you've still got a little bit of time. And if the people for whom you are shopping are fans of the Pokémon TCG, well, that, ladies and gentlemen, that's where I come in. Sound like a plan? Excellent. So let's do a bunch of different categories, and let's start off with $10 or under, which really only gives you one choice as mini tins. You should go for mini tins. Mini tins come in little tins, shockingly enough, clues in the name, and they cost $10, which we kind of already said, and you get 2 packs, and it really depends which ones you go for, honestly. I'm a fan of the 151 mini tins, personally, because 151 is an excellent set, but it doesn't really matter which ones you go for. They're all pretty cool. And like I say, if you want a nice cheap present, and especially if you're buying for younger Pokemon fans, the mini tins are actually pretty cool because, and I know this sounds obvious, but bear with me, they come in a tin. And kids love playing with the tins. And I know that because every time I bought a mini tin, my children have stolen the tins. There we go. Mini tins. If you're looking for around the $20 mark, that's where we're looking at EX boxes. EX boxes are, well, they're kind of like double mini tins, honestly. Because you do get 4 packs, that is double, wasn't lying to you. But then, by the same token, you also get yourself an EX promo. And these are really cool when you're giving us presents, again, especially to kids. Because what's awesome here is the packs can be terrible, and sometimes they are, right? Packs are inherently random, okay? But even if the packs are terrible, you still get yourself an EX. And you get a Jumbo EX. Now, again, for kids, these are particularly cool. I know not everyone you're going to be buying for a children, that's fine. But these are still extremely cool. These are ones that come very highly recommended. So, EX boxes are pretty cool. From 151, we've got Alakazam and Zapdos. Sometimes these will be slightly above $20. It depends which ones you buy and where you buy them from. Alakazam and Zapdos are my personal picks here. I think they're the best ones. I think they're the coolest ones. But you know what? There are a bunch of other ones out there. As long as you're getting a EX and a bunch of packs, you'll be fine. Oh, do bear in mind the Alakazam doesn't come with a Jumbo, but it does come with an extra. Actually, there are a couple of ones that came around very recently. They are the Roaring Moon and Iron Valiant EX boxes. And they're actually really cool cards. Both of them are really good for playing with. So just putting it out there, they might be pretty good options too. Now, if you're willing to go a little bit higher, if you're willing to go up to, say, $50 or $40, depending on what you're buying or where you're buying it, this is where Elite Trainer boxes come in. Elite Trainer boxes are really good presents because you get a bunch of packs. You get 9 packs, and you get a promo. Now, it's not an EX promo, and I know that for some people, the fact that it's an EX does make a difference, but you still get a promo, and that's still pretty gosh darn cool. And actually, Paradox Rift does give you 2 different versions. We've got the Iron Valiant or the Roaring Moon, and these are kind of fun. You get yourself a promo in them, which is pretty nice. But then you also get yourself 9 packs, and then you get sleeves and counters and all of that. It really feels like a good present to buy somebody. This is on the more expensive end of what we're talking about here, I grant you. But this is still extremely cool. So if you're looking for kind of generic Pokemon presents in these categories, in these brackets, I think that's it. If you're looking about $10, mini tins are a good shout. If you're looking around $20, EX boxes are probably what you should be going for. And if you're going for $40 to $50, the Elite Trainer boxes will be there. It really depends which Elite Trainer box you go for. Paradox Rift is going to be a little more expensive because it's newer. There are some absolute bargains that can be gotten. Just remember, for those of you that are unfamiliar with Pokemon, if you look at the logo here, it says Scarlet and Violet Paradox Rift. Look at the logo. If the logo says Scarlet and Violet on, you will get a promo in there. But if the logo says Sun and Moon on instead, you won't get a promo in. Unless it's a special set, but let's not worry too much about that. You have been warned. Now, one present I would absolutely recommend is My First Battle box, whatever it's actually called. They're awesome. I got these for my birthday. I asked my mother-in-law to get me these for my birthday. I was delighted. My First Battle, they're nice and cheap, and they are basically the easiest, simplest way to learn how to play the Pokémon TCG. Now, I will say, for older children, this is probably going to be a little too simple. We're talking like 17 card decks, no prize cards and all of that. It is exceedingly simple, I grant you. However, if you've got younger kids that you want to teach to play, kind of 6 and up, these are awesome. And also, they're very clearly designed. I mean, if you look, one of them features Squirtle and Charmander, and one of them features Bulbasaur and Pikachu. They've gone full Gen 1, they've gone first partner Pokemon, they've gone Pikachu. They know their audience here. These are actually extremely cool. They're also very cheap. They're about $10 each, or maybe even a little bit less, depending where you get them. So these are, again, very cheap things to do. Now, if you want to get a little bit fancy, a nice recommendation for you is a Japanese set, Shiny Treasures EX. Now, depending on where you're buying this from, it might be too late because this is a set that comes from Japan, but it is a very, very cool set. We are going to be getting it as Paldean Fates in January, or an equivalent set, shall we say. But this is a very cool product to open at Christmas. You're going to pay somewhere around $80 to $100 for a box of these in the US. So it's not the cheapest thing out there, I will grant you. But if you're looking for something that can really make a splash, you get shiny Pokemon like Pikachu and Charmander. Now, there's 129. You only get like 3 per box. It probably won't be Pikachu and Charmander, but that's the kind of thing you're looking for. And then you got a chance of getting real ridiculous cards like the Charizard and the Mew and the Iono, for instance. They are very, very, very cool. I would recommend it very highly indeed. This is more for your super nerdy Pokemon fan we're going for here. And like I say, we're a little more expensive, and you are running out of time if you want to go and pick these up. There are plenty of reasons not to go for this, but I'm just telling you that this is a pretty good option. Now, if you want to spend a little bit more money, we can get a little bit silly. Let's say you're looking around about the $100 mark-ish. And I know we're looking at a lot of 151 here. I'm sorry, that set's awesome. The Mew Ultra Premium Collection. Now, this retails for $120, but it can usually at the moment be found for about a ton. That's $100. And it just comes with so much cool stuff. It comes with a really nice playmat. You got a deck box. You got a whole mess of packs. But then you've also got promos, including a Metal Mew, which is kind of cool. Obviously not legal for tournament play. And the Mew Special Illustration Rare. This is another product I recommend very highly indeed. And yeah, it's a bit more expensive, but it is extremely cool. Oh, while we're here, how about a money is no object present? If you really want to show off, look how much money I spent on you, the TCG Classic. This is a very cool product, but it retails for $400. You should be able to find it for $350 or maybe a bit less. But that's not cheap. That's actually very expensive. But what you get in here is essentially, you get a big briefcase thing that folds out into a playmat. And then you get 3 decks based around Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise. And then you get yourself a bunch of accessories, sleeves, and there's little damage counters that you stack up, which is really cool. And there's just a lot of cool stuff in there, okay? Instead of rolling a dice, you roll a little ball down, and there are heads and tails sections. It's really cool, all right? It's extremely cool. This is very expensive, and I don't expect many people to be picking this up for people as presents. But if you want a really show-off present, it seems a bit rude not to put one of those on the list now, doesn't it? So I think we should go for these, and I think that's pretty cool. Now, I do think those are the main ones we want to be looking at if we're going for presents, but a couple of wild cards just before we get out of here, and I'm afraid it's my boy Charizard. I'm going for Charizard, all right? My boy Charizard. So, it's not really my boy, I'm not a huge Charizard fan, but the Charizard EX Premium Collection, now this retails for somewhere in the region of like $50. It's not particularly cheap, all right? It's in around in the $50 margin, but You do get yourself a special Charizard EX, and it is an alternate art that cannot be found elsewhere, which is particularly appealing. And then you also get yourself a bunch of packs. You get yourself a card frame to display your favorite card in, etc. So, yeah. This is another very cool product. So it's one that I think is, again, for certain kinds of Pokemon fan, it's going to be pretty gosh darn cool. Oh, it retails for $40 in the US. It's a bit more expensive in the UK, but it retails for $40 US. And the last one I'll give you here is the Collector's Chest. Now, the Collector's Chest is a literal, actual lunchbox. Again, if you're buying for kids, cannot recommend this highly enough. And you get yourself some promos, some packs. You get yourself a little portfolio to keep cards in. And you get yourself stickers and all of that. It's a very cool product. But this one, essentially, if you're buying it, you're looking and going, hang on a second. This is like a literal lunchbox. That's kind of amazing. I think that so-and-so is going to love this. So there we go. Right, that's what you got, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you need to know, and now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you've bought your friends, family, whoever for Christmas, and tell me what you would want from your, well, anyone who would buy you Christmas presents. Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. Oh, and get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Star of Dav, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing is always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.